Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Wynn. I'm a painter and a poet based in Bath, UK. Today I'm actually going to be tidying up my studio space. So in the first part of this video, I actually walk through the current studio area as it stands at the moment, which is in the living room of my house. So if you are interested in seeing where I actually set up my studio, then you can check out that video. In this video, I'm actually going to do the actual tidying up. I think there's a lot to do. You know, when you're starting to clean and you've decided that it's going to happen, and all of a sudden, like, you just start seeing everything as like a mess. Before you even start, like, you start to feel stressed. This is currently where I am at the moment. So I'm going to first of all hydrate, which is very important. I haven't drunk enough water today. So good. I'm gonna start with this table and then we'll move on. Bit by bit by bit, we'll get it done. No. This is how it starts already. It's like start making a mess before I even begin. I love these colors, by the way. I love working in bright colors. I love bright colors in general. If you are familiar with some of my art pieces I've done so far, you will see that there's a lot of color involved in how I like to paint. Colors just make the world a better place. A random spoon. Like, I have really random stuff. Something I also love doing is actually reusing jars of food items that I've consumed. This is coffee. I don't drink coffee, but this is my mom's coffee jar. I have a bunch of those, and this is really pretty. I love how it's just old and worn in brushes with a really worn down piece of jar. I'm loving this sort of aesthetic. I don't think I'm really feeling this table anymore. It's so, it's got a vibe to it, but sometimes it's a little bit inconvenient to see everything I have. We'll see what I'll do with it, but for now, I'm gonna move it out of the way so that I can actually set up a proper canvas base. Strong girl, strong girl. All right, now this actually feels really good. It actually feels like, you know, I can breathe in this space. So I bought these canvas sizes the other day, and I actually love the idea of painting on an odd-shaped canvas, not your typical kind of square rectangular thing. I really like this narrow, tall, linear shape, and I'm excited to get on this one as well. Now the challenge is, how am I gonna transfer this thing onto here? I don't know, I'm not sure. I think this is too small. Let's see. Like the moment of truth, can I actually fit it? Oh, it's actually not bad at all. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I think I can definitely work with this. It's really massive. I'm tidying up the immediate space around the canvas. We have pushed everything onto that side of the room. And I don't want to use that table anymore. As you can see, it's not even a table. I'm not really organizing my stuff properly. I was looking and I saw what I could reuse is this table, which I actually got from a colleague of mine. And I think it will be a perfect table to put maybe behind the canvas here, so it's like compact enough. And I'm also gonna try and reconfigure the rug. My camera battery died, but I've made good progress since I last spoke on the camera. So what I've done is I've tidied up all my paints, my pencils, my palettes that I use, the inks, and I've moved the table here, and now it's just these little bits left, which are such random things, honestly. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting there. And you know, sometimes it just takes patience to do the hard stuff. I think we can get so lazy just from thinking too far ahead into the future and almost running through the different scenarios in our heads, which I think is great to plan ahead, but sometimes we also just need to take that action and, you know, do things step by step by step. In taking that, you know, journey and taking that action itself, then the kind of plans or actions that we then need to move forward with appears. This is a very mundane example, but like this whole cleaning process that I'm doing right now, I never thought before I started out this cleaning in general that I would end up putting this table here, and it actually makes a really beautiful addition to this little corner studio space. It just goes to show how sometimes not overthinking things, which I'm so guilty of doing, is helpful. But yeah, just little final bits of stuff left. And I'm so sentimental with things because, like this one for example, it's a really old jar of pasta sauce, Lloyd's Grossman. If any of you who lives in the UK, you will know, you know, this type of pasta brand. You know, this is the first jar that I painted my murals with in my home. And I don't want to let this go. This jar, as much as it's murky and horrible and old and worn out and dusty it is, like, I still want to keep it. But then you've got a new jar like this, which is waiting with new memories of new paintings to be formed. So I don't know, maybe I'll put a flower in it or something, you know, to kind of yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think I'm gonna put some flour in this. I'm just thinking about how to sort out the jars. I've got tiny jars, worn out jars, medium-sized jars, a candle holder which no longer has a candle, but I was using it as a brush holder of some sort. So all this stuff, it's crazy how much stuff we accumulate. Can you resonate with me? Do you know what I'm talking about? Am I the only crazy one? I don't think so. I think you also hoard stuff. I think you also are good at keeping little random things like this. But it's a part of being human. It's a part of making memories and sorting out memories. Okay, so it's actually in a little bit of a shade, but behind the canvas is, you know, all the lovely things that I'll be using, all my paints and all my palettes and inks and pencils and brushes are all here. And then we've got the canvas itself, and I've given myself plenty of space to move around because I want to be able to have the space to film, be able to have the space to just kind of focus on just this big piece. And I've got new canvases behind there. This is like a random little corner. This is in a transitionary space, so when I do have more space to myself eventually, I will tidy this up again, but for now it's filled with frames, artwork I've been gifted, artwork I've done, prints framed again, and 2 paintings that I've done recently are here that will be framed at some point. I have really special plans to frame these, I think early next year. The plants, of course, and I'll show you the little trinkets. It's just cards that my mum received from family members, and I do train with weights in the same space, so I've got my weights here, and then I've still got the cat toys. I've left them out here just in case they want to play with it. All this empty space we have will be a mess again at some point, but it doesn't matter. The mess is also beautiful. I hope this has also shown you that no matter what space you have, you can still make something out of it. In this, what is quite a tight space for 2 people and 7 cats, we've managed to make a space where we're able to lounge and watch TV, but also for me to paint in a corner. I have tried to make it the best that I can. Whatever you want to do, it's not just in painting, you can always make it work. If there's anything that living with my mom and 7 cats have shown me over the years, is that for me to create art alongside everything else that was happening in my life was still doable. I didn't really need to change who I am or what I want to do. My creativity could still coexist. And especially in tough times, creativity can be something that can get us through. I hope this has also inspired you to create a space for yourself. Create a space that you feel inspired by. You know, paint murals, paint your walls, paint your furniture, whatever you want to do. That when you come into that space, makes you feel like you want to create, makes you feel like you want to do something specific. That's really special. That's the power that we have also as human beings, is to create the world that we want to live in. All right, my talk is done. Peace out.